Hi, I am Valencia, and I'm just here today to give you some tips on how to start a business. I don't want to seem uptight, don't want to be boring. I just want to do the video, give you some tips, and we move on. I'm going to do more than one video. I may not answer something, or you may have a question, and you can ask me, and I can answer it in the next video. Today's video is tips on how to start a business. I'm not going to give you a lot of information, just tips. You still have to do the research because that's when you're doing a business, that's what you got to do. You got to research. A little bit about myself. Years ago, I opened up 2 hair salons. They did not work out. They was in a small town called Socorro, Georgia. It just did not work out for me. I didn't have a lot of information. I didn't have nobody I could go to and ask questions. Now, over the years, I went to college and I started out with an office and business diploma. Then I got an accounting degree, associate in accounting. Then I decided to do my bachelor's and my master's in business with a concentration in accounting. And then I went back because I wanted to take the CPA exam, and I decided to get a CPA certificate in advanced accounting. Needless to say, I still haven't passed the CPA exam, but I'm going to keep trying. But still, that doesn't mean I can't share the information that I know. So me and a friend, we was talking over sometime last year, and we was like, let's just start our own business. Let's go back. And then I started thinking about this because my daughters, we all have great jobs. We work for a hospital. But they was like, Mom, we want to do things and we want to do something that we like. And so they came to me and said, we signed up for cosmetology school. That was great. I did it. Your grandfather did it. Your cousins are doing it. So I was like, okay. So I started watching them. And they was making wigs, selling wigs, and doing wigs, doing installs, just things. And then I was thinking like, I can make a wig. Then I thought, they coloring hair. I can color hair. Then I was like, they cutting hair. I can cut hair. So like, I think I'm gonna get back into this. I mean, I love going to work every day, but I like to travel, and so I have to do something that's gonna make me happy. So I decided to look into doing an online wig business, and so I started practicing and researching. Now, these are the things that I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you about my online business because this is not about that. This is about how to start a business. So when I started out, I said, okay, what should I be doing? So what I did was I like to bake. I like to bake cakes. I like to do wigs. I like to do hair. I like working, and I like working with numbers. So I was like, what can I do that I really enjoy that would take stress off? Something for me to do. You know, my kids are doing their thing. What can I do? So I started fooling around with making wigs. I did the research. I found the material I like. I started researching hair. I started researching all these websites and how to get hair and everything. So I said, okay, I'm going to start with doing another hair business, but this time not a salon. It's going to be an online wig business. So I narrowed it down. What I can say to that is, like I said, pick 5 businesses that you like. Narrow it down to 3. And out of the 3, which one that you love to do? Whichever one that you got the heart to do it because you're going to put your all into it and you're going to do it. If you pick something you don't like, most time, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna do that much research. You're not gonna do anything with it. Some people do pick something they don't like and they win at it, but chances are you're not gonna win because you're not gonna put the effort in. So once you got that business, narrow down, you did all your research and that's covered. Excuse me. Start thinking about a name. Do the research. Pick a name. Like I said, I went days picking names. Like I was writing names down. I don't know if you can see it. I was writing names down, all kind of names, and it just was not clicking. So I decided to go. My daughter was like, hey, use our last name, Tremere. And I said, no, it's too boring. So I started putting things with Tremere. Tremere this, Tremere that, Tremere this, Tremere that. Then I came up with Tremere Slade D. And then I was like, no. Then somebody said, how about Tremere Slade? And I said, yeah, hey, that'll work. So I got that name, and I did what I had to do. You know, I said that's my name. So once you find your name, then you want to reserve your name. You want to reserve your name because what you're doing is you go into the website for Secretary of State, and excuse me, you're gonna click the link, reserve name. You go out there, they'll ask you some questions. They'll take your name and they'll run it through a database to make sure nobody else is using that name. And it's going to cost you. I think I paid $10. I'm almost positive I paid 10, no more than 20, $10. They'll run that name through the database, look, and then they'll let you know if somebody has it or if you need to pick another one, or they will suggest a couple names. Okay, once they tell you the name is good to go, they normally give you like 30 days. They give you a time frame when to lock that name in, when to put the seal on that name. And what you have to do after that, you have to go to the website and for Secretary of State and do article organization. Sometimes depends on the business. It's gonna be called article of incorporate or something. But article organization. So once you go there, this is where they're going to ask you more questions about your business. What type of business? How many employees? Like, you need to really focus on when they say what type of business. You're going to do a sole business because you're by yourself, a partnership, LLC, corporation. All of this, I suggest doing an LLC. The reason being is because, keynote, if you do a sole or partnership, most likely if somebody comes for your business trying to sue you, they'll be able to go after your personal assets, like your house, your cars. They'll put a lien on whatever you have, and you don't want that. So I always suggest doing like a LLC so the liability will go back onto the company. And when somebody comes to sue, then they'll have to sue the company, and then your personal assets won't be tied up in your business asset and you won't take a loss. So just remember that. Try to think about LLC versus sole. You have to do the research and read the information. I cannot give you all of that in this video. So then once you have that, let's say after you reserve and you seal your name, next go to the IRS website and get your EIN number, your N number. That's your tax identification number. You want that so you can have that like when you're doing like your tax exempt or you applying for things, credit cards and stuff. You want to use your business tax ID. It's like a social security number for you, for your business. Same way like you use your social security number for your personal life. So make sure you do that. So again, let's recap. You're going to figure out what type of business, name your business, then reserve your name, find out if somebody else has that name, then seal the name, and then get your tax ID number. And once you have that, then you can move on and you're going to do what's next. My next thing was a logo. You know, you want to do a logo. You can buy a logo, find a logo, pick a logo, have a graphic artist design your logo, get your logo. But make sure you do the research because you don't want to get a logo that 10 people are using and then like say you running this type of business, then this mop company got this same logo and then people think you're doing mops. You don't want that. So do the research on your logo. I did my logo. I couldn't find nothing. So I used my daughter's face as the face of my company and the face on my logo, and I put it on my business cards. And like I said, you could do it on return labels. I use her face, and I just told her you're gonna be the face of my business. So you do your logo. Once you have your logo, then you want to start doing like your business cards and things that you want to print off and want people to see. So business cards, there's a lot of people that does them. You can do them yourself from your own home printer. But I went with VistaPrint because VistaPrint always have deals and sale. So I got 500 business cards for $9.99. And like I said, they pretty much, it's simple. You go in, you download, you put the font, you pick the font, you put your information. You can do front and back. I didn't do back. And then you pick the size. Be careful. I picked 2x2, and that was too small. So you have to be really careful. But Visiprint, I ended up getting 500 business cards for $9.99. I ended up getting return labels too. You can get those. You can go anywhere. Like I said, just do your research. Once you have all of that, now I'm gonna tell you, start thinking about your finances. When you finance, it's like, how are you gonna start this? You don't need money to start certain business ventures, but you do need, it depends on what kind. You need to find out how you're gonna get the money. Are you putting in the money? You borrowing the money from family members? You borrowing the money from a bank? Are you going to get an investor? Or are you going to get grants? Key note, if you get an investor, be careful. I had the friend that I was telling you about earlier, she decided to do a truck and warehouse company, small truck, deliver freight. And she noticed, like, later on down the line, she needed certain things that cost a lot of money. So she thought, well, it's hard to get a grant. It's hard to borrow money. Let me try to get an investor. So she went and did an investor, and he asked for her business plan. Again, that's another video. The business plan laid out everything that she was planning to do, what she forecast her money out to be, her balance sheets, her sales, her profit, her losses, all that. And he was impressed. So he told her, I'm really impressed about your numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and invest in your company. Now, me and her were like, okay, what is he talking about, investments? I said, you got to go back to him, got to type. Good thing that I got some kind of background, accounting background. Like, you got to go back, you got to be asking questions. So he came back and said that he doesn't do anything under 100,000. So it would start at 100,000, and he would love to invest, and she can have the money within 24 hours. Okay, you know, your eyes get really big, like, oh my God, this person's gonna give me $100,000. I never had that much money. Blah 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 blah. So like, to hold up, pump your brakes. We got to find out what he wants in return. A return on his investment. ROI, return on investment. So, okay, so she was like, what should I ask? So I asked him this question. So I sent over some questions. He answered the question. So his comeback was, yes, I'm going to give you $100,000, but I want 20% profit sharing of your income, annual income. What that mean? Well, and then he was talking about stocks. And I said, well, you're not buying stocks, so tell him you're not buying stocks. And let them know you're not going to get nobody 10% of your company or 20% because you're not there yet. And but you do want to borrow money and pay them back, but you want to know what what's the exact amount of the payback. So we kept going back and forth. So what it was, he's going to lend her $100,000. The first year she pays nothing back. Starting the next year, she paid 20% of her her profits. Okay, that's fine, but you got to do the numbers. So we was doing the numbers. So let me plug it in for you. So for example, say the first year she made 160,000. 20% of 160,000 is 32,000. Do your math. 10% is 16,000. Times that by 2, you're gonna get 32,000. Okay. We're going to keep it simple. Say if she made 160,000 for 5 years. So that's 32,000 going to him for 5 years. 5 times 32,000 in the end is 160,000. Here's the other kicker. He said, and at the end of 5 years, I need for you to pay my 100,000 back, one lump sum. So over 5 years, she gave him 32,000. Then at the end of 5 years, she's going to give him 100 extra thousand. You add all that money up together, and all she's going to give him 260,000. So not only did he get 100% of his money back, he got 60,000 over. Like, he got 100% of his money back. He got 100% over the money he lent, and plus 60,000. 260. She only borrowed 100,000. Like I said, just do your number. I'm not saying don't use an investor. Just make sure that you're clear on what it is you're gonna sign your life away to. Because even in the end with that, when it got time for her to get the money, his lawyer was asking for a closing cost. He had to pay $5,000 in closing costs, and his lawyer wanted her to pay $1,500 in closing costs. So in all, look at the money the lawyer was getting. These are things you need to research and talk to people about. If you don't understand it, get you an accountant, a financial advisor, somebody that knows the business, somebody that knows about investing. If you have never dealt with profit sharing, profits, return on investment, or ROI, if you don't know none of that, you need to get somebody that will tell you about it. So that way you won't be signing your life away, because it's okay to want to pay somebody that money back, but you're going to be working really hard because you got to pay your personal bills and this man his money. Again, if you can pay him $32,000 a year, you're making the money. But I'm just saying, be careful. Okay, another thing that's gonna pop up, as soon as you seal your name and you fill out an article organization and you get a tax ID number, the labor law people are going to contact you. They don't care if it's just you. You are considered an employee of your company. You would need to pay $105 for a labor law poster. If they come in your establishment and there's no labor law poster, you could be fined up to $7,000. Again, light bulb, remember that. No matter what, they're going to contact you. Okay? Last and not least for this video, advertising. Advertisement. Advertise. I don't care how you do it, advertise. It's too many ways to advertise. Do your YouTube page, do your Facebook page, your Instagram page, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell your work people, tell your mama friend, tell your church friend. Get it out there what you're doing. And look, keynote. When you're doing videos, now I know you can see the background in the back. You don't hear nothing in the back. Okay, I know you like to play that music. Be mindful of the music that you're playing in your background, the cuss words and things. Be mindful of how you look. Yeah, I got on a black smock. I got a shirt up under it, but you don't see it. Be mindful of how you look, your appearance. Are you professional? Be mindful. You don't want to show your whole house being dirty, or you don't want to have a lot of people in the background, unless you're doing something that involves all of that. Just be mindful and be professional and advertise. Advertising will go a long way. A picture's worth 1,000 words. It's like going out to eat. People eat with their eyes, not their mouth. If something look good, they're going to buy it. Same thing with selling. If something looks good, they're going to buy it. If something seems great, they're going to buy it. People will look at a picture is worth 1,000 words. Advertisement is worth 1,000 words. What you put out there, that's what they see. Be mindful and advertise, but be mindful how you advertise and what you have going on in your background. And so, again, I will come with another video. I'm just trying to explain things as we go. Maybe this will help somebody else and maybe not. Maybe somebody think I said something wrong. That's fine. Correct me. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not, because I'm learning too. We all learning. We learning from each other. We just want to get the information out there. I am going to do a video about my friend's company, the warehouse company, so that you can see what she had to go through and all the barriers and everything. And hey, it may can help you and it may not. But till then, goodbye.